The quintessential Eddie Murphy movie, Trading Places. One of my favorite Eddie Murphy movies. It's in the top 2 or 3 of my all-time favorite Eddie Murphy's movies. Starring Eddie Murphy, of course, Dan Akroyd, Ralph Bellamy, Don Amici, Jamie Lee Curtis, and I'd say today it would almost be considered a special guest star appearance. He's only in the movie for like 5 minutes or less, but Giancarlo Esposito. That's good. He's a good actor, but he's in this movie, and just for a short time, he's in the prison scene. You know, when Eddie Murphy is doing, Karate Man, bleed on the inside. When he's doing that thing, he's the one leaning against the gate, checking him out, watching the kung fu moves. Trading Places is a story about a guy that's down on his luck, finding fortune, being able to trade places with somebody who is rich. When I originally saw this, I was like, wow, this is kind of like, the Man in the Iron Mask. The two guys that traded places. But it is, but it isn't. So Eddie Murphy is a wisecracking thief, con man, hustler. And he's about to get arrested. But Don Amici and Ralph Bellamy decide that they're going to make a bet to see if they could take this one guy, Winthorpe, and see if they can crush him, and turn him into nothing if he would survive because of his upbringing and, his stock. If he could survive on the street, and if somebody like the Eddie Murphy character could be brought into high society, and if he could survive and thrive, he knows how to live on the streets. He thinks fast, all that kind of stuff. If you took that and you put him in, the corporate world, would he survive? It's a experiment they have, and they've bet $1, to destroy both of these guys' lives essentially. And so Eddie Murphy gets put in a position, and he thrives. They give him a house. They give him, back in those days, what was like a crap ton of money, like $80,000 a year. They give him a car, a butler. He's like, I guess the stereo system's mine too. Get a stereo system. All of this great stuff. Overnight, he's given all of these things, and he moves from one position to another position in his role in life. Same thing with Dan Akroyd. Dan Akroyd gets accused of having drugs and selling drugs and stealing money, all kinds of stuff. He gets kicked out of his house. They destroy him. They get him sent to jail. He almost gets molested in jail. That's kind of funny. Man, rape is not funny, but in this movie they made a joke of it, and it was funny. It was a great movie because Dan Akroyd is hilarious. Eddie Murphy is hilarious. Eddie Murphy's the king of comedy. So you put them two together and let them play off of each other, and it was really, really good. So you got Eddie Murphy who becomes rich, and now he's making decisions. Originally, he made decisions with still a street mentality. He's got all this money. So his first thought is, well, I'm going to bring everybody over here and share the wealth. Show them, I'm the big man on campus now. Look at all this money. Look at my limousine. Look at my manservant. But, the street people, they're used to a certain thing, and that's it, man. So they get to his house, and they're putting out their cools. They smoked cools back then. They're putting out their cools in his carpet and then his couch, And for some reason, 2 days after being awarded this money, he knows that the carpet is from Persia, and it's Persian. And he knew that I don't know what that was all about, but he knew all these things about the money, just like that. They told him about what they did, and he's like, oh, it sounds like y'all a couple of bookies. They trade stocks. And essentially, I guess they are bookies, but he knows essentially what the job is because he's done something similar on the street. So he can relate. And he's good at it. He's really, really good at it. Makes him a lot of money. But the Dukes, that's their names. The Dukes don't want to keep him after the experiment is over with because he's the N-word, that nasty, filthy, disgusting word. Worst word in all of human, I'd say, the world's history. The worst word ever conceived. Word so bad that they don't even utter it out loud. They just call it the N-word. Or say you dropped an N-bomb. But either way, they say we won't have one of them N-word running our company. Doesn't matter how good he is. Are we going to bring Winthorpe back? No, we're not bringing him back. Guy disgraced himself. Went to jail. Went nuts. Can't do that either. Get rid of both of them. Which kind of forces Eddie Murphy and Dan Akroyd to meet, decide to work together, and get their revenge. They want to give the Dukes their comeuppance, which turns into kind of an intricate plot. I mean, there's train rides, there's people dressed as Africans, Lederhosen, there's another guy gets assaulted by a gorilla. I mean, all kinds of weird things happen. When you see it, it'll make sense, but all kinds of weird things happen for all of these dominoes to fall in place for them to take all of this money from the Dukes, who were filthy rich, but they owned and traded stock, so they went to work every day. But you take somebody who does not want to work every day, give them that same amount of money, they're going to go on vacation. So that's what happened. They got the Dukes' money, and I think they bought an island because they started living on one, or maybe they was just on vacation, I don't know, but they go to an island, and that was kind of cool. Jamie Lee Curtis is in it. Her name's Ophelia. She was cool in the movie. Sort of. Honestly, her part was almost unnecessary. It's Jamie Lee Curtis, so she was a big star then, she's a big star now. They put her in a movie, they gave her some stuff to do, it was cool. But the main thing, out of two comedians at the head and the forefront of the movie, they were incredible. But this is what I think about this movie. In fact, I like this movie so much that I would give this movie 8 bags of popcorn. Man, 8 bags of popcorn. Because that's what I think about that. Have you seen Trading Places? What's your favorite Eddie Murphy movie? Let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn passport. Get your popcorn passport.